build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. Hello everybody, welcome to Short Bangers. I am Matt. I still can't speak, fucking hell. It's like being a teenager again with my voice breaking. I'm the host tonight. I'll try and get through it, still being able to talk. Joined by Colin and John. Colin, how you doing?
Good, mate. I'm good. Thanks very much for asking. How are you?
I'm quiet. That's how I am. Somebody said on Hibs.net today, there was a good post actually, it was talking about how like a husky voice is sexy. I was like, no, my house is just fucking annoying, because all I get is, speak up, what? There's nothing erotic about this at all.
Yours definitely isn't sexy.
Nah.
No.
You see that? Shows your hands. We can see them. Right, aye. John, how you doing?
Aye, not bad. Speaking of things breaking, my skin's breaking it because of the bloody heat.
Nightmare. Right, but so I'm timing the clock. Let's get right into the questions then. We'll get right down to it. First one, 150k on Hanlon Hill. So he just put a new air fryer. I'll skip out some of the preamble with this one. He says, when will food packaging start to give air fryer cooking instructions or times? Who wants to take that?
So, have you got one, John? You got an air fryer?
Aye, we got one. I say we. It's the royal we. The missus got it out of, I want to say she got it out of Aldi or something. Ordered it online, which I didn't realise was something you could do with Aldi. But I want to say it cost like 20 quid or 40 quid or something. And it's got like the wee low-tech images of like chicken or chips or vegetables, whatever it happens to be, and you just press a couple buttons that pre-populates the temperature and the time.
That's what mine does. You beep it round, you keep pressing it, beep, 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 till you get to the chips or the fish or the whatever the other ones are. That's the one that
That's what you cook in your house.
Mine's doesn't have a wee drawer. Mine's is shelves.
Oh, fucking shelves, is it?
Aye, and it's got a wee bit for a rotisserie chicken. So if you take the shelves out,
did your air fryer cost at least 3 figures? Is that what you're telling us?
It wasn't a kick. I think about 99 to just under.
Replace these oven for about 6 months now.
Aye. So the instructions, you would just pretty much follow the oven instructions when you're air frying it, or do you?
No, I generally use the button that tells me to go like for poultry or whatever. But I've not done that. I've not done a mass variety in it. Like I've only ever made homemade chips, or I've made homemade fish fingers, or I've done like mushrooms in it.
Can we delve into homemade fish fingers a wee bit more? Because I know you like to cook. So what's your technique? What's your recipe? What's your method?
Fish, breadcrumbs.
How do you coat them in egg and flour first?
Egg and then into the breadcrumbs.
Is that not a bit of a mess or a bit of a faff?
It's not a faff. It gets your fingers all messy and then you just wash it off.
You've got such a unique way of simplifying
when you're baking.
Making me feel small.
Right, next question. Gordon asks, what's better, doors that open in the way or out the way, depending on which way you're entering or leaving, to pull or to push?
I prefer to push. No.
As the actress said to the bishop.
What was your thinking, Colin?
I just there's momentum. You go to stop.
There's something satisfying, especially if you're in a bit of like either a rush or a bit of a mood. When you get like the full palm slap on it, and push the door open, paying scant regard to whoever might be on the other side of it.
Is it? Is there? I'm trying to think. I was just going mentally through all the doors in the house, and they all open in the way. Is there anywhere like? Is it outside? Like, is it places that you would go outside where the doors would open towards you?
Well. See, I think that's what. So my patio doors at the back, they come in the way. But my automatic reactions, even 7 years in the house, is to go and push it, to open it. If I'm in the house, to go out.
Mine's open.
But it comes in. And my neighbours, they've just got an extension. Well, not just, they got an extension done last year, but I'm just thinking they're new ones. They're old. The original patio doors would have opened in the way as well. But their extension goes out the way. So they must have got it built to or the joiners fucked up, whatever. But that's the thing. I don't know why it opens in though, because it can be a bit of a pain in the arse. But then again, if it's windy outside, it would be swinging about as well. And if even a gust of wind, not even that windy, like it would come and bang off the wood, the brick. I don't know if there's a reason why it opens in, but I would expect it to go out, as I say. I mean, how boring that chat is this?
Okay, door chat. TG Willis, true or false? After years of Glen Hoddle hot pants, Hibs were the first club in Scotland or UK to wear the longer style shorts in season 91-92. Got to be true that.
Is it true or false? I go true.
John?
True.
True. We're saying it's true. We've no evidence to back it up, but I have no doubt. Fattest Prickus, should blue whales be bigger?
Are blue whales, are they the biggest, I'm going to say mammal.
Say it.
Are they the biggest mammal in the world?
No. Blue whales, I know the sperm whale's bigger, or the great, sharks.
Just
Great
keep
white.
them as things in the sea, mate.
Fish fingers. Blue whale size, right, we could go.
See the fish fingers, like, do you buy like a bit, like, do you buy a fillet for the fishmonger? Like, have you got the van that comes around the street on a Friday and like blares the horn and sets the dog off?
Sorry, asking me that. Sorry, mate. We've got a van that sits up in the high street most days. You can buy
and do you, when you get it back to the house, do you cut it into like the fish fingery shapes, like they're rectangles?
Depends. No, not really. I usually got a bit bigger.
Here's the thing
about
fish
fingers, but it's not like a traditional like bird's eye one.
Thing about fish fans, right? I saw. I think I'm going to phrase. I saw a quote on Twitter for Chris Finn, who we bumped into on the way to Retro Video Club, didn't we?
Yeah.
Who described Hearts fans as aggressively boring, which I thought was a fucking amazing description for them. Is a fish fan an ice cream van for Jambos?
How come? Like, what was?
Well, ice cream van's fun, isn't it? Whereas a fish van, it's not aggressively boring, but there's nothing fun at the fish van, is there?
Nah, and there's effort involved afterwards, isn't there? Like, well, at least with an ice cream van, you just go up, you get your 99, you're away, and you're happy instantaneously. You've not got to wait for Colin battering your fish.
Did you ever? I've heard this mentioned on another podcast, so I'm asking that question, but that I've heard before. But did you ever, when the van came round on a Sunday afternoon, get sent out with a bowl to get like a few scoops in it?
I've seen that happen.
I've seen that happen, but no, never.
Go out and ask for like 8 scoops or.
And that's a good question. What happened afterwards? Like, did you just go back in the house and like get another like 7 bowls and then scoop out? Scoop out a scoop each.
2 scoops each. Aye. I can't. My mum would have then built it and dished it up. Yeah.
Who got the flake?
Well, you would only get a flake if you asked for a flake. Would
you get raspberry sauce?
Well, it would depend what we're having it with, I suppose. Because sometimes. If we were just having ice cream, because it used to be the Arcaris, mind the Arcaris?
Aye.
They do it your way. You would remember, the Arcaris didn't the base at the Wisp or Portobello, they had a shop in Portobello, didn't they? We used to get raspberry sauce on that, But it would depend if it was for like to have a bit of cake or whatever the Sunday pudding was. Sometimes a tinny fruit. Mind that? Tinny fruit with ice cream. You remember? Just me living in poverty.
What I mind for the Arcari ice cream man that used to come round ours is he would come round quite often. We'd be just sat down on the ground. Come in your wee, you would just sit on the pavement, and he used to warn us that we'd get piles. And when you read like piles, you have to like go and investigate them. What that is. It's a fucking weird thing to say.
Can I make a wee confession? See if someone was to go out to the ice cream van with a bowl and was to get 8 scoops and raspberry sauce and they came back with it, it would put me off that I didn't have just my own raspberry sauce that had been like mixed and mingled with everyone else's, even though like it hadn't touched their lips or anything. It would just be like,
the same ice cream.
I'd just feel a wee bit, I don't know, cheated or something.
I wouldn't be bothered about that. I would be, and this is a stupid thing, I'd be more concerned about how exposed that is. It depends how far away from your house the ice cream van is. Because
you worried if you heard the ice cream van 3 streets away. And it was a
I
long
tell
day
you
out
what,
the day.
back, it's all melted, but you get flies and that kind of, it attracts that sort of like a wasp or something like that. You're going, fucking, it's going to get a wasp, but it's a cone small enough that you could just eat it quick and not have that problem. Did you ever get attacked by wasps, Scotland, when you had your ice cream?
I don't remember, but I tell you what, there used to be a lot more wasps when I was a lad than there is nowadays. We've seen that the other night. I was out a walk with a dog and I thought, there's loads of flies in that irritating me. Came walking up the cycle path.
Aye.
But how many wasps or bees I've seen this summer?
Who do you think
Aye,
that?
but you're more intimidating now than when you were wee. Maybe they're just scared of you. They know you live.
Aye. I think they've maybe got. You think they've maybe gone extinct?
Maybe.
Global warming's doing them.
So maybe just, there's loads of new builds in that coming up your way, so maybe just go to a different part of the town. There's more options for them now. So like when we were wee,
Good choice.
there was fewer houses.
They're
So
lost now, they've
they'll
become
hung-
gentrified and been priced out of
Aye.
the market.
they all hung around the same areas. Right, fast brackets also. By the way, blue whales, should they be bigger? Did we decide?
But how
Nah,
big are they
not for
now?
me.
Like, why no?
John,
Big
do you know what? I googled that a second ago, and because we were going on other things, I'd changed it. So, reaching a maximum confirmed length of 29.9 metres. I think we just fucking round that up to 30.
Aye.
How
What's
tight are
that in
the
London
beer
buses?
That
What's
must
that,
trigger something. That must trigger an extra payment or something.
They maybe change colour if they're 30. The blue belt, that's turquoise. It doesn't count. So there you go. That's how big that is. So no, they didn't need to get any bigger. Fast Brick has also asked, if humans can do ghosty jobbies, can ghosts do human jobbies? And if so, how the fuck would that work?
Oh, yeah,
I think it would.
sorry, I was Googling
The-
world's largest mammal, and it's the Antarctic blue whale, which can grow up to 98 feet in length. I don't know, Colin, can you convert that to metres for me?
29.9. The ghosts eat.
Well, what would they eat? I think they would.
What?
So,
So they would
nothing to
decide,
digest. So they wouldn't do humans humany instead of a ghosty. Oh, you, John, you reckon a ghost could do a humany shit?
Talk about a ghost, maybe. What about a scary poltergeist like a mate? Well, I don't know. Would a ghost, say if a ghost was to eat a human, it wouldn't shit out the human whole. It would be a jobby made up of human.
Why would it not? Because they couldn't digest it. Like, they're not a physical form. So you would pass through it completely. Maybe it's happened to us already and we didn't know it. Maybe that's where white duck shakes came from. Maybe it's we ghost ducks that are doing them.
Could you imagine, like, how are ghosts like snakes, for example, where they can unhinge their jaws and just like swallow you whole, and then you sort of like, if you could see a ghost, could you see the human that they've eaten like working its way through the esophagus and the stomach and the intestine before getting shot out at the back end?
See, I think a ghost innards are going to work at all.
You think they're just for show?
Yeah.
Aye.
I think there's any innards there. They're on the books on the ground there.
Left behind.
Yeah.
I think they could do the thing with the jaw though, John, because in stories and that, ghosts where they've been decapitated are sometimes carrying the heat. And if you could do that, then I'm sure you could do all sorts with your other body parts.
Just imagine,
You're thinking about
imagining a
a ghost
headless
stunner.
ghost where the body and the arms is like holding the head and just kind of like scoops it over the body for a bit of, like the human body, for a bit of a laugh. Like, look what I can do.
Aye.
I'm trying to think, there's something that I remember, I want to say it's like Beetlejuice or something, where they like sort of like detach their jaws and stuff and make their mouths really, really big.
Let's go with that. Beetlejuice. I've not seen that for years.
Colin,
Hey.
have you seen Beetlejuice?
I've seen that. Yep.
Did you like it?
Can't really remember it. I think my mum got it one night for us. Like, she was going, we'll get a video for the video shop. My dad was working or something. And then we started watching it, and she thought, I maybe shouldn't have got this. Like, my wee sister would. Because it was a horror movie of some sort, eh?
Sort of. It wasn't that scary, though,
But
was it? It's like
it
sort of
wasn't that
comedy.
scary, that. Because I didn't think it was it wasn't any 18. It was maybe a 15. But I think it was a 15. Because I was under the age, but my sister's 3 years younger than me, so she was definitely under the age to watch it.
Were you
I think mum just made a mistake, yeah.
Were your mum and dad bothered with stuff like that about ages for watching films?
Nah, I was watching Jim Davidson, Chubby Brown, and all that with my dad when I was a Billy Connolly. Till I grew up and realised what they two are. I still watch Billy Connolly, but I was like watching that when I was.
Have either of you seen RoboCop?
Aye. I watched that when I was wee.
You need to Google something that I saw the day when I was kicking about. I don't know whether it was Twitter or it was TikTok, but someone has remade scene 27 from RoboCop, and I urge everyone to go and watch it because it's 4 minutes of what the fuck am I actually watching?
Is it on YouTube? Scene 27.
It's on. You'll know you're in the right place if you end up on Vimeo,
Right.
which is, I guess, it's kind of like YouTube.
I remember one time it was Simon Bates used to read a wee warning on the videos to say if it was age appropriate. And I remember sitting down, and I don't remember the film, what it was, but we were all sat down and he gave us a wee warning. And that was the moment that my mum and dad went, actually, you can't watch this. And
Never looked at the sticker on the box, not the wee red circle.
I was like, going, fuck you, Simon Bates, you just ruined it, like an evening to illicit video watching. So I never forgave him for it.
Do you remember what the film was that you weren't allowed to watch?
No, didn't remember. 9.5 weeks, something like
that. Basic instinct.
Basic instinct. Right, Mel Clement says, do pets have innie or outie belly buttons?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Have you ever looked? Like, now that you mention it,
no.
I've never considered an animal having a belly button before, but they must be attached to like something. They must have.
Aye.
They must have been attached to an umbilical cord, like in order to be like fed while they were in utero. But I've never I feel like I'm relatively intimate with the dog's body parts, but I've never seen a belly button.
Ask him after this. Ask him. He'll tell you. Murphy. Just belly button in or outie. Bark once for in, twice for out. Right, Cristiano McFackintosh Jr. Says, on a 4-sided cheese grater, there is a side for normal grating, cheddar, carrots, etc., a side for wee grating, parmesan, ginger, etc., and a side for thin slices, again cheese, tatties, etc. What's the really rough side that looks like wee bullet holes for?
That's the one that I'll scratch you to fuck like Harlan on the outside of a building.
This is on one of the sides, the small sides rather than the big sides, yeah? Because that's what I visualise. So would you do garlic or anything on there? Or it says ginger on the other side, is it already?
Probably like.
Is it nutmeg? Like can you get the wee hangs that you?
Aye.
I've never done it like.
What about like
uses it?
Is it for like orange rind, like the rind of a fruit?
Oh, zesting.
Zesting.
Is that not the other side, the big side of the hard side?
Have you got a preference for the cheese grater, like which one you go for? I used to be like the big cheese chunks, if you like, but then I switched to the back end.
Have you got? We've got one of the spinny ones.
Of course you fucking do. Came with a £300 air fryer.
It was cheap, right? And the benefit of that, like, because you know what it's like, you're grating something. So first of all, you get a block of cheese and you go to grate it, and it goes like angled.
Yep.
So you have to rotate it.
Up.
Yeah, but not even if you have to rotate it every now and
That's because you're leaning on. That's because you're leaning on one bit harder than the other. If you hold it level, you should.
Your cheese grater's angled.
Well, but you angle the cheese in.
Aye, but what about the cheese graters that are just like one-sided? Like you just get one option.
Anyway, right. You have to think about that, but you also get the bit where there's only a little bit of cheese, and to hold it, you're running the risk of getting your fingertips grated.
Oh, fuck it.
Right. Clipping your nails off.
Aye, but just shite, nobody needs that, right? Nobody needs bits of skin in their cheese, and you don't need to be losing bits of skin because you're trying to get the fucking last bit of cheese. The wee windy one, there's a way with that problem. You just pop the wee cheese in for the lid. Or they should automate them though. That is what's missing. I don't know why you can't get readily available automated graters. That would surely be a winner.
Do you know what I want to know? I want to know what Colin serves up with his homemade fish fingers.
Homemade chips.
Homemade chips. And do you do that all that in the air fryer at the same time?
I would do the chips. Chips take longer. So what I do is I do the chips, and the fish fingers are any time at all. So I do the chips, and then I'll keep them warm, and I'll put the fish fingers on.
How do you keep them warm? You put them in the oven?
Put them in the oven. But they're healthier cooked in the air fryer, right, than they are in the. Like
so they say. I think it's
oil.
shite.
You didn't put all loads of oil on it.
That's true.
That's what the healthy part is. Healthier part.
There. Right, Charlie Mulgrew thinks you made that up. So death is never funny. That being said,
what a statement. Just leave it there.
That being said, who had the more amusing death? Rod Hull falling off his roof while trying to fix the TV aerial, hopefully with Emu, or Elvis dying on the bog while eating a cheeseburger?
I've always thought the Rod Hull one's funnier than Elvis. Elvis sounds a bit sad. I think it sounds a bit a sad one. But just the comedy thing, because I always visualise Emu being on his arm as he goes. I think Brian Harvey under the car with the big tatties would have been the opener.
It would have been, aye.
But unfortunately, it didn't quite turn out that way.
Do you think Rod Hull, assuming he had Emu with him, regretted choosing a flightless bird?
Imagine him try to fly. Oh.
Is there any other puppets that you can think of that aren't flightless birds? Like, are birds that can fly?
Aye, Sooty and Sweet.
Do you think
like that ones at that show, Big Bird of Sesame Street? That didn't fly, did it?
Nah. I was just thinking, so to follow up your question about did Rod Hull regret as he was plummeting to his death and Emu was on his arm, like, oh fuck. I wish I'd chosen
Rod Hull and Eagle.
What do you think was the thing that caused Elvis to die? Like, do you think it was maybe was it dissatisfaction over the cheeseburger? Was he trying to have a squeeze of a shite? I wonder what was the last thing that went through Elvis's mind before he died? What do you think about when you're Elvis?
Oh, if he was on the pot, he's probably thinking, I hope this is a one-wiper because I'm not feeling very well.
Have you ever eaten a cheeseburger on the shitter though? Like that?
No.
Is that just?
I've not had anything sitting there like that.
Is that?
It's horrible.
There's a boy decadence, or is he just a minging bastard?
It's minging. The guy used to take his lunch into the toilets at HSBC. So really, it was a canteen was fine. Like you didn't need to go and take it in the toilet, but he used to.
It's mental, eh? Why are you hiding there?
Aye, regular take a tray of food in to the bog. And it's like,
did you? You were saying cheeseburger as well, but did you listen to Top Flight Time Machine recently? A couple of the last month or two, they done one of their history boxes or something. I can't recall when it was. But they done it on, was it Fool's Gold? They called it.
Aye,
it was that's what I remember. Aye. And this is what he used to eat was this Fool's Gold sandwich. I don't know if it obviously maybe like the cheeseburger as well, but
is this Elvis?
Aye. Do you know what's in a Fool's Gold sandwich?
Is it a fried peanut butter sandwich or something?
It's got that in it. I'm just going to read it to you now because I've just Googled it. And it's just Fool's Gold. It was so it's a whole hollowed out loaf of bread, 1 jar of creamy peanut butter, 1 jar of grape jelly, which jam, and a pound of bacon.
Holy shit!
That's what I used to eat.
And you wonder why he died on the bog.
I love bacon and I love bread and I like peanut butter and I like jam. I just don't know if I'd want them all in the same sandwich.
How come we didn't get grape jam over here? Or do you?
Mash it into wine.
No, maybe. They have wine in America as well. Maybe on Elvis's day. Maybe they outlawed it after he died.
We could definitely have that sandwich, but you couldn't have an entire loaf of bread, an entire jar of each of them. That's just...
No, I don't
Crazy,
get how you could finish it. Like,
you'd have to train yourself up.
Aye, build up tip.
I was listening to a radio. It was 4th today. I was in the car and so I'm on a wee bit of a diet and this got me fucking starving. I've been doing well, right? And it's fucking starving listening to this. It was this guy who's a professional eater. That's what he does for a living. He went to some place in, I think they said Perth, and it's a steak place, and it's a eat this in an hour and you get it for free. So I'm not sure who he makes money with that, right? Because all he's doing is not paying for him. It's a 70 quid plate if you don't eat finish it, and it is a 60-ounce steak, right? Which I definitely could do. Right? I could do a 60-ounce, right? But the issue would come in with the also 60 ounces of sides as well. So it's like millions of chips and that. And I'm actually sitting thinking to myself, I reckon I could do the 60-ounce steak, but for sides, I think I'd have to go like mushrooms and tomatoes or something, because I think the chips and that would bag you right up, and you would be struggling with the meat because you've got to finish it all or you pay. So I'm thinking too many. You can't have chips, sweet potato fries, all of that. It would have to be give me the green beans and the broccoli, or the onion rings, maybe even, but no chips.
Even then, I think you could. It's all too much. But I think get what folk out of doing that. Like that can't be fun. Like you shouldn't eat for a challenge. I never understood that. Eating should be like a nice, pleasurable thing to do.
Man, he done it. He did do it with 3 seconds to spare.
Bloody hell!
And he's a professional, so I mean, he's obviously practiced and built up to that and trained his cell and all that.
Imagine the shite you do after that. Fucking hell. Anyway, right, that's all we've got time for the night.
Everybody's away for Saturday. Everybody's dreaming about fucking Desperate Dan steaks.
Well, I'm pretty sure I told the story about my mate that did the Kismot Killer curry, and threw up immediately after it, which was like fucking nuclear colour. It was hilarious. Anyway, no pleasure from it at all. Didn't enjoy the curry. Didn't enjoy the after effects. All I got was they didn't have to pay for it. But I'd rather pay for a nice thing and enjoy it and take my time than do some fucking mental like that.
Madness.
Anyway, thanks for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the wee subscribe button, please. And also, we'd ask you just to tell somebody about the podcast if you've not already done so. Do us a wee favour. You can subscribe if you want extra episodes. Go to longbangers.hubwave.net. It's £3 a month. Sign up there, dead easy to do. And if you get stuck, just give us a wee shout on Twitter and we'll help you. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.